Welcome guys, my name is the Aussie Argonaut and today we're going to have a little look at Factorio. As you can see, I've already started the game, and the game is basically a building simulator. It's also a bit of a survival game too, because you do have enemies in your middle mini-map. You'll be able to see some of the enemies when you explore the world, but this game is hard to get into at start, but before you know it, you've already played 4 hours, and it's it's time consuming. It takes a lot to do. You need to research and do a lot of that stuff, but it's actually quite intense. I don't know whether it's a silly game or it's a genius game, because once you get into it, time just flies. So I've just started a game off, and as you can see, it's very environmental. It goes to the day-night shifts, and it's actually pretty cool. It's 2D. You can zoom right into your fella. I'll call him Bob the Builder, and you can zoom right out to see a lot of the world. So when you build your little factories and all that, you can actually see what you've accomplished. Right, so basically at the start you get dumped in this world, and you don't have much. You basically get some iron. You get more iron plate than that. You actually are able to do a furnace and a burner mining drill, which basically drill is to drill the ores, iron ore, copper ore, coal. So then you can actually progress and get a lot of materials together to actually further build on your factories. So at the start, you don't actually come up with a iron axe. You have to actually make it. To actually get into your crafting, you need to press E on the keyboard, and it comes up with your inventory and your crafting menu. So you've got different types of crafting. You've got logistics, which is the movement and storage. You've got production, which is basically your factories and other items and research centers. You've got your intermediate products, basically like for gears, making iron and copper plates, and then you've got your combat. So as you progress further and you do some research, which I'll have a look at in a minute, you actually are able to research machine guns, shotguns, grenades, all that down the track, because you will encounter enemies eventually. So when you start off, you don't get an iron axe. You have to do this by hand, but once you've created an iron axe, all you have to do is mine a few ores, woods, and all that jazz. You'll be able to create something. Now, I'll put my furnace there now, and as you can see, it says I'm out of fuel. If you actually click on it, it'll bring up your inventory and a little icon of what it is, the stone furnace, and then you got a fuel tank. So basically what that means is you either need wood, coal, or as you progress further, probably solid fuels and all that. And then you can put your ores, wood, whatever in there to actually create a result. So let's go search for some coal or wood even. See here, you've actually got crude oil, which I can't even attempt yet. But here we have trees. So if you right click, you can still use the iron axe. Iron axe is basically for pretty much everything. So I've got some wood here. This is just going to be a basic rundown to start you off. It does take a little bit of a while to actually start off and begin and get going, but once you get going, you won't know yourself. Now you can actually click on it and put it up there, or you can press shift and click on it and it goes straight into the actual fuel. So if I put all that in there, you'll see that'll create iron plates. And again, if you want to collect it, you just put your cursor over it, press shift and click, and it goes in your inventory nice and quickly and easy. So once it's done that, let's see what we can do. So there we go. Also, you can do some drilling. Now, with the drilling, you can see a yellow arrow. That is the way that the goods are going to come out. So we can place it there. That needs fuel as well. We don't have any fuel at the moment, so we'll just have to go get some. That works on wood as well. Now, with wood, it actually gets burnt through very, 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 very quickly. You need to find another stronger source of power, which is coal. So I can... Most of the time, you are just running around. This is the hard part. So now you can see that it's actually working, and it's actually trying to dig for some ore. Now, to actually get the machine to store your ore somewhere, you actually need to build a crate. So since we've got some iron plates, it actually shows you how long it'll take and how many iron plates it'll need and what the storage size is. So you just click on that and it automatically puts it in the bar down there if you've got a spare space. So you click on that and you actually attach it to that, and once you've actually got a storage point, you can see that if that's got fuel, it'll actually store it straight into the iron chest. Now there's quite a lot of storage, and it's usually about 50. The limit is 50 to a stack, and that's pretty much it. So once you've got all that, you can put it in the furnace and create iron plate. Now, you've also got other types of ore like copper, which you need to dig up initially as well. As I said, it's actually quite slow to start off with, but once you start getting yourself organizing and starting to understand the gameplay itself, you'll just sit here and you'll think you've only been playing for half an hour and you've played for 3 hours. That's what happened to me on the weekend. I was playing in the afternoon at 4 o'clock and then had dinner, put the kids to bed, spent some time with the family, came back about 10 o'clock, and next thing I knew, it was 5 o'clock in the morning. Did not even realize. Now we're going to turn this copper ore into iron plates. So that'll take a while. You can actually just leave that running. Now, you're probably asking yourself, can I attach a chest to this? No, you can't. Only with the drills and a few other things, you can attach iron chests to actually store it. Now, since it's night time, let's just have a look at what we can create. You've got different options. You've got the transport belt, which needs, you can clearly see that it'll take half a second, 1 iron plate and 1 iron gear. Now 1 iron gear is in the intermediate products, and that only takes 2 iron plates. So I can click onto that and it'll create 1. Now this needs 1 iron plate. Now for me to do that, I need to create an iron plate, and I shall show you. I'm only showing you the very basics right now, so we can all get a gist of what we need to do. So there's a conveyor belt, and you can also get a burner inserter, which means it's a mechanical arm which actually shifts stuff out of a crate and into another device, maybe another crate, and we'll get to that eventually. So this needs fuel again, so we really need to search around the area. We've got stone there. We need to find some coal. Jeez Louise, we've got plenty of iron ore. Now we need to find some coal. Usually that is black on the map in large sprawling areas. There we go, there's some coal. Not a lot. Now when you're mining with your iron axe, you do reduce the durability of it. As you can see, when I'm actually digging for this coal, you see down here you've got a little green bar, and that'll go down eventually and it will wear the iron axe out. So if I keep going, it will slowly go down, and once it's actually disappeared, the iron axe will break. I'll show you that. And you go back to actually doing it by hand, which you can see is goddamn slow. So it's always good to sort of have a few iron axes, or even, you know, stack them up to 10, so that you'll never ever need to stop and create an axe. So at this stage, I think I'm going to leave it at this. We've gotten down the basics, what we have to do, where we kick off. It's been great doing this and showing people the basics of what this game is all about, and it's a weird game, but it's a bit of a genius game in the end, I think. Hopefully the developers will develop it more and more, and it will just get more exciting. We'll go through research, because there is some research things that you can do, but we actually can't do that at the moment. If you go T, it'll bring up everything that you can research and what you need to research. But we'll go through this a bit later on, now that we've actually got down the basics. So thank you for joining, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.